Raptark, what's up, man? Psychotic and JJ, good to see you guys. So this is the I'm talking a little low. You guys know why. Little girl sleeping in the room next door. Welcome to the November 2018 supporter Q&A. And why is my microphone stand just there's like no tension in it? I let go and it just falls to the falls to my. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on, guys? But yeah, welcome to the stream. So if this is your first time ever tuning into a supporter Q&A, basically what I do is take questions from my Patreon page where people support the channel on a monthly basis out of the kindness of their own heart. And oh, what's that?
And I just hit 6 months as a member. Woo, 6 more months to go.
Nice, Psychotic. Thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support, man. I greatly appreciate that. Raptark, I just turned it down a little bit, so let me know if it's still too loud. I just went a bit lower. Yeah. I need a little bit of noise in my own headphones, you know what I mean? But Psychotic, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna give the little intro spiel. So yeah, basically these supporter Q&As are questions come from Patreon, my Patreon page. I think I have 16 questions today. And then along with that, there's also mods in the chat. As you can see, Venom and JJ are here. And fleet members who support the channel on a monthly basis on YouTube itself through their own little kind of supporter, I don't know, thing that they have on YouTube. Don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but welcome to the stream. I'll be hanging out with you guys until I answer these questions, shooting the shit. Sit back and listen to this like a podcast. Yeah, like a podcast. Psychotic. Thank you so much for the first super chat of the stream, man. I greatly appreciate that. The robot read it, and I'm going to read it as well. Wearing the Hello Greedo shirt / hoodie combo today. And I just hit 6 months as a member. Woohoo! 6 more months to go. I really appreciate that support, man. I remember what hoodie you got. What shirt did you get? I'm trying to think. Was it the Cheers for Beers? Just the classic Greedo. Am I wearing it? No, I'm not wearing it right now. I was wearing it yesterday. I think that's the one you got, right? Maybe not. But I appreciate the hell out of that support, man. And thank you so much for supporting the channel tonight as well. On multiple fronts. Appreciate it. All right. You want to get to some questions? Let's get to some questions. Yeah, the classic Greedo shirt. Nice, man. All right, the first question on Patreon comes from Trojan of Narnia, and he asks, what is your favorite Christmas movie? My favorite Christmas movie is actually White Christmas, with Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye, Rosemary Clooney, and I can't remember the other actress's name. But yeah, that's my favorite Christmas movie. It's not really like your typical kind of Christmas movie. It's basically about Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby are like old army buddies, and they were in World War II, and after the war they kind of start a road act, and they're singers and dancers and stuff like that, and it's just they meet up. If you guys have never seen it, it's really worth a watch. It's you know, from the early 50s, I think 52 maybe 53, I'm not too sure, but it's called White Christmas. My all-time favorite. Love the songs. I'm a big sucker for kind of like musicals, stuff like that. I always dig them. Yeah, White Christmas, Trojan of Narnia. White Christmas is my all-time favorite Christmas movie. Yeah, snow, it won't be long before blah 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 snow. I can't remember how it is. Yeah, Psychotic, check it out. Yeah, it's silly, but I love it. I love it, man. It's my favorite. It's my all-time favorite Christmas movie.
I know. Fly casual.
Love you, Tonic.
Venom. Good to see you, man. Thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support tonight. Love you platonically. Right back at you, man. Thank you for keeping the calm in the Discord channel while I'm far away. But I appreciate you, man. I really do. And I think I saw a question on here. Maybe not. But yeah, Venom. Once again, thank you so much for the super chat tonight, man. And Cladle. Yo, what's up? Good to see you, Cladle. Raptark, have you ever had to interrupt a stream because of any reason, like a fire starting at the kitchen or something? Interesting question there. No, I have had to cut streams short because of like people at the door before. No fire. I'm trying to think if there was any other reasons. I have cut them short because of like horrible storms and shit. Oh,
Hello.
haha, lol. Thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support tonight. Hello, hello. Hello, right back at you. I really appreciate that support, man. Yeah, the supporter Q&A. I never expect super chats in the supporter Q&A, so they're always a pleasant surprise. So I really appreciate that. Haha, lol. I don't think I've ever seen you on here, but welcome to the stream. But Raptark, I don't think I've had to interrupt streams before because of my daughter, I think, and I'm trying to think, like storms coming through. I know there was one time. I wasn't streaming then, never mind. I was trying to think. My neighbor's tree fell down during a bad storm. And for whatever reason, I feel like I was doing something with the channel and I had to... Maybe I was working on a video. I don't know. And I had to stop that. But yeah. The next question comes from Orson Krennic. Thinking back to before Disney bought Star Wars, what's your pitch for a sequel trilogy? Orson... first of all, I never read these questions first, so there's probably some shit. I know there's a couple of jokers in the Patreon supporter group that always post highly inappropriate nonsense. It's always fun. So I haven't read any of these. But Orson, my pitch before Disney bought it would pretty much be on par with what they're doing in one aspect, really, of sparingly using the original trilogy characters. I expected them to use original trilogy characters a lot more. I kind of expected it to be like a just like a big party with Leia and Han and Luke and Lando. I thought they would just, you know, for what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, one sec. Uh-oh, you guys hear that Death Star alarm? We have a brand new fleet member. Haha, LOL, exclamation mark. Thank you so much for becoming a fleet member, man. I really appreciate that. So yeah, with being a fleet member, you get to basically support the channel on the monthly basis. I greatly appreciate that. You get to be a part of these supporter Q&As, which are already fun. I do them once a month. You know, maybe in the future when I get a little more time, I'll start doing them like twice a month or something like that. Also, if you connect your YouTube account with your Discord account, you get a special Discord role in the Hello Greedo Discord server. If you scroll down, you can see a link in there and whatnot. But yeah, haha, lol. Thank you so much for becoming a fleet member. If all my fleet members on right now could give me a big welcome. Give a big welcome to haha, lol. I would really appreciate it.
I don't know.
Oh, one second.
Fly casual.
Is it all possible I can become a mod? I am here 95% of the time.
That's true.
But if I can't, it's okay. I am just glad to be a member and to be here right now, beaming face with smiling eyes.
Psychotic, absolutely, you can. I never think about. Sometimes I mean, I'm sure you've noticed this, Psychotic. Sometimes I'm streaming and I don't have any mod. I never expect mods to be on. That's my thing. Like, you know, if they're on, cool. If they're not on, also cool. I mean, they're doing shit. And sometimes I'm streaming for an hour and I don't have any mods. My only mod is Nightbot. So Psychotic, I just made you a mod. That's not because you asked. That's because it probably should have happened a while ago. I know sometimes, like, if there's no mods on, I'll just recognize somebody that's constantly in the chat every stream and I'll just make them a mod. Just boom, 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 without any like kind of vetting or whatever. I just, you know, I trust them, they're a viewer and whatnot. But Psychotic, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, I really appreciate that, man. Welcome to the mod squad. There you go. But Orson Krennic, your question. Yeah, really my only pitch would be to sparingly use the original trilogy cast, which I think they've done a good job doing. It could have been a safe bet, playing it safe, just to throw a bunch of OT characters in there. You know, everybody wants to see that, obviously.
Fly casual.
At work, just checking in. We still good for our BFV thing later this month? Have a good one, buddy.
Andy, Star Wars Ramblings, thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support, man. It's good to see ya. Bummer that you're at work. I saw you post something about work the other day. Oh no, it was about voting. That's right. I saw you post something about like if you can get out there and with like no sleep and working 12 hours, some shit. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I don't see why I won't be able to. I'm kind of crossing my fingers that Game Changers will have access to a little bit of BF 5 later this month, but yeah, count me in, 100%. Count me in. I'll probably pick it up when I get some. I've started using like my T-shirt. T-shirt income is small, but it's like enough to buy a game a month. And I've started using like my T-shirt income as like the only play money that I allow myself every month, if that makes sense. Everything else goes to like my daughter and bills and everything. And T-shirt money is like, oh yeah, Fallout 76. Fuck yeah. But yeah, that's my play money. So yeah, count me in, Andy. Don't know when the game's coming out, but yeah, count me in 100%. But yeah, Orson. Yeah, like I was saying, just really one pitch would be sparingly use the OT characters. I'm not one to really like desperately need certain things to happen in my Star Wars movies. All I really want to have is a fun ride with unexpected twists and turns. And I think they've delivered on that with the episodic films. Now with the anthology films, most of you guys know they haven't really done much for me. I appreciate them for what they are, but yeah, I hope I answered your question there, Orson. I hope I answered your question. Let's go to the next question. The next question comes from Alexander Cunin. The one thing I love about you, Greedo, is that you don't have any hate, really. You stay pretty open and accepting to whatever Disney decides to make, and you just share your opinions on it. But there has to be something. What's something Disney could do to Star Wars that would leave you in utter disgust? Alexander, I'm trying to think. I don't want crossovers, but I don't think that'll ever happen. Like, I never want a Star Wars Marvel crossover. I don't think that'll ever happen. I'm trying to think if there's anything that would leave me in utter disgust. Nothing like in-universe. I'm relatively fine with things that happen in-universe. Obviously, I have my opinions on different story beats, and the way they use different characters and whatnot. But generally, I'm fine. It's weird, man. I'm generally fine with creative decisions because creative decisions are creative decisions, and you either like them and you don't like them and you move on, right? I'm trying to think if there's one thing that they could do that would just like piss me off. I mean, like people say, well, if they kill Luke, or they did say that if they kill Luke, I'm over, I'm done. Star Wars is gone. If they destroy the Millennium Falcon, I'm done. All that kind of stuff would never bother me. You know what I mean? Like, characters are characters, people are people. I'm just talking shit right now, aren't I? Nothing would leave me in disgust. There are certain things that would puzzle me. Mainly anthology films, probably. Like Boba Fett anthology film, that puzzles me why people want that. Obi-Wan anthology film, I understand why people want that a little more than a Boba Fett movie, but I don't really want it. It puzzles me, but nothing really disgusts me. And honestly, I'm trying to think. One of the things that would probably bum me out if they turned episode 9 into like a two-parter, you know what I mean? Like episode 9 and then there's going to be an episode 10, kind of stretching it out like Hunger Games, you know? That would bum me out. I want a clear trilogy. But damn it, Alexander, I can't really think of anything. I'm just too... It's not that I just... And that's the thing. People, when they hear me say that, they assume that I just suck up everything Disney does with the label of Star Wars slapped on it with a straw. You know what I mean? Just, give me it all, give me it all. No, if you watch my shit, you know that's not the case at all. I'm accepting of things. And I have harsh opinions often on things, but I usually am pretty even keel, accepting, I guess understanding of creative decisions, even if I disagree with them, you know? I don't know. But I appreciate the question. Maybe I'll get back to you. Yeah, the things like how they handle different characters. I've never understood people's complaints about them. They're characters, right? We're not in control of what they do. Not everything should be fan service. And a lot of the times, I see people complaining about fan servicey things that they did not like. And I just don't understand it. To me, it's like the comic book guy from Simpsons. You know? I don't know. Weird. Oh, man. Enjoy the game. I'm so addicted to it right now. Greedo is the only thing that can drag me away from it. Red Dead. I still need to pick it up, man. I'm probably going to wait until December or Christmas time. Ask for it for Christmas. Maybe it'll be on sale. I highly doubt it. But eventually I'll get it. Eventually. The next question comes from Fifi Gable. Hi, Greedo. How has having a daughter changed how you view the status of women in the world? The Me Too movement, slut-shaming, feminism, etc. Also, have you ever gotten down to the Humpty Dance? Thanks, and keep on keeping Humpty Dance. Oh, do the Humpty Dance? I've danced to it at weddings. That's it. But how has my daughter made me think of those things? At the moment, she's a little too young. I haven't really thought about those particular things yet. But the things that I have thought about are like kind of just, I don't know, being a little more, being super protective, thinking, paying attention to my surroundings a little bit more. You know what I mean? Nothing in particular about the things that you mentioned necessarily. Now I'm sure in the future, those particular things will come into play, but I don't know. I haven't really thought about it in those terms yet. I'm still in like baby mode, if that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't make sense to some people, but I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's really what I've thought about. Well, you said the Me Too thing. I guess I think of danger, and I think that could potentially be wrapped into a facet of that movement. The shit that maybe my daughter's gonna have to tend with in the future, and I hope one of my biggest things that I want to instill in her is to not take any fucking shit from anybody. That's kind of my, like, obviously I want her to have a fun life. That is my #1 priority. I want her to have a fun childhood. But another thing that I really want to instill in her is to not take any fucking shit from anybody. And because there's a lot of pushovers, right? And I don't want her, to be lumped into that. So yeah, future daughter, if you ever find this, if you ever find this supporter Q&A on this Hello Greedo YouTube live stream, if YouTube is ever a thing, yeah, don't fucking take shit from nobody. I see pride. I see power. I see a badass mother who don't take no crap off of nobody. What movie? What movie, everybody? What movie? But I appreciate the question. It's I have so much on my mind when it comes to, having a kid, that certain ideas and topics and whatnot pop into my brain as I'm just kind of like walking around. It's really interesting. Even when we went and voted today, I started thinking about crazies out there. I don't know how to describe it. Little situational awareness, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Greedo, you gotta be the dad that looks scary but is actually really cool. That's kind of my plan, huh? That's kind of my plan. Get super fucking jacked and just like, I don't know. I don't know. Oh man. Magpie's Nest Productions has the next question. Would you like to see Jar Jar Binks Logan-style movie as pitched by Max Landis? Is that real? Did he really tweet out something like that? Max Landis, you silly goose. No. That honestly sounds like a clever thing for a fan film. maybe I have a Jar Jar Binks mask. Maybe I'll do a Logan style Jar Jar Binks super violent fan film. But no, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. There's certain things that I just don't think need to be made, and that gets lumped into that category. What's up, AT-AT? Good to see you, man. Goddamn it, I miss voting. No excuses for me. Come on now. Come on now. Just got back from a long day of work. Way too long with traffic on top. Well, yeah. AT-AT, like, I don't understand why the United States of America does not have... I mean, like a lot of countries, voting day is a national holiday. People are off work to vote, to do their civic responsibility and vote. It should absolutely be a national holiday. You know, every 4 years, national holiday. Every 2 years for the midterms, national holiday. I'm blown away that it's not. I don't know. I really don't understand it. I don't know. How about an amendment to add it as a national holiday? How about an amendment among amendments to add it as a national holiday? The next question comes from Will Thompson. Let me move over haha lol because I like things to be centered. There we go. That's still not centered. There we go. Alright, Will Thompson. Still trying to understand why people trash on Star Wars now. Probably won't ever figure it out. Clearly, Star Wars isn't dead. If you make videos about it every day, just say, I don't like this movie and shut up. Actual question now. Oh, now that Star Wars Special Edition is 40 years old. November 17th, maybe? I think it's around then, yeah. Will you watch it and do a review? Well, first of all, Will, you know, I don't have a problem with anybody talking about... I mean, people say, you're still talking about The Last Jedi? Yeah. I've talked about A New Hope since I was born. Like, yeah, we're going to talk about these movies for a long fucking time. It's Star Wars, man. And in the same token, I don't have a problem with anybody, like, you know, dissecting or even kind of trashing the movies that they don't like, but it gets to a point where it becomes... What am I thinking? Like, what's the term? What's the word I'm looking for? Where you're just kind of mulching over the same shit, right? You're just repeating the same thing you said last stream or last, you know, anti-Disney video. It just... I don't know. If I was doing that shit, I'd feel so creatively bankrupt. To me, it's like a radio disc jockey who just says the same wacky shit all day, in and out, presses the fart button. How funny. Just mulching over the same shit. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, Special Edition 40 years old. I have done a review of the Special Edition back in the day. It's probably, man, maybe like 4 years ago. Yeah, it might have been like, maybe not that long ago. Maybe I'll do like a commentary track of the Special Edition. Would that be something that you guys would want? Instead of a review, just a commentary track. Don't really know how that would go. I don't know what the hell I would talk about. But that might actually be a little more fun than doing a flat-out review video, you know? It's been maybe 3 years since I've watched it. I made a habit of watching it every single Christmas for like... Well, not Christmas Day, but like holiday season. For years, I would watch it. The past 3 years, I don't think I've watched it since I did that review. I don't think, but yeah, I will. Oh, and Luke, I don't know what happened to the screenshot. Let's see if I can figure out. Oh, this is a big ass question, Luke. Okay, here we go, Luke. Let me pull it up on my other monitor. Questions. Luke, there we go. Let me zoom in a little bit. All right, Luke. Let's see. Did I skip one? No. All right. The next question comes from Luke Ebhard. Let me take a sip of water, Luke, because this is a big fucking post. All right. Have I got an interesting question for you, says Luke. Do you think the value and appeal of motion capture characters in film, let's see if I can read this, it's all cut off, leans more towards how they're written in the scripting concepts? No. Concepts and... Oh, weird. Okay. Oh... Wait. Oh, weird. Look how that took a screenshot. That's really strange. Interesting. Okay, anyway, I'll start over, Luke. Do you think the value and appeal of motion capture characters in film leans more towards how they're written in the scripting concepts and largely performed by an actor? Personally speaking, we all know Jar Jar sucks, but not because he was a CG character. This technological innovation led to the likes of Gollum from Lord of the Rings, Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean, and Caesar from the new Planet of the Apes trilogy. I find it pretty pathetic when I hear criticism of Maz Kanata saying she reminds them of the prequels, but that's not the point. A lot of work went into this character to make her stand out as she does. I get some aren't a fan of her, but surely you can understand now this character was conceived and performed excellently by Lupita Nyong'o. The same applies to Supreme Leader Snoke, and not because he was played by motion capture pioneer Andy Serkis. I've been investigating this for a couple years now and have recently completed a video essay for a university assignment on this topic. What I'm actually trying to say is, despite the synthetic nature of being created in visual effects, motion capture creations can appear very believable and lifelike on screen, regardless of how realistic they may look, i.e. Rocket and Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. Let me figure out what the question was. Okay. Do you think the value and appeal of motion capture characters in film leans more towards how they're written in the scripting concept and largely performed by an actor? I don't... Well, like you said, regardless of how realistic they may look, I don't really know if the... I don't really know how to answer this, to tell you the truth. I think nowadays, like, motion capture characters just blend in so well that I personally kind of forget that they're motion capture characters. Now, something like Maz Kanata, she's not necessarily, I guess she is kind of human form, but, you know, vastly different than the average human. So it kind of takes you out a little bit, but I don't know. I don't really think of motion capture characters nowadays the way that I used to with something like Jar Jar. And I think with Jar Jar, it without a doubt was the way it was written and directed. Jar Jar, if you ever see like behind the scenes footage of George Lucas directing Ahmed Best and stuff like that, there was a distinct way that Lucas wanted Jar Jar to be. And I think Ahmed Best captured exactly how George Lucas wanted Jar Jar to be. So it's without a doubt a mixture of both, right? The scripting concepts and the performance. And I'm guessing what happens a lot of the times with motion capture characters is that you're kind of rolling the dice, right? You write your character, your motion capture character, you find your actor, your actress, and then you're hoping, you know, obviously there's some trial and error or casting, what's the word I'm looking for? Auditions for these characters, and I'm guessing what happens a lot is that the actor or actress that you choose for the role wildly exceeds your expectations and brings this character to life in a way that when you saw it on paper you never could have imagined, you know? I don't know. I feel like I was just rambling there, but I don't really know how to answer that, to tell you the truth. Post that video essay on the YouTube. I'm sure people would dig, a topic like that. You know? I'm trying to think of the most believable motion capture character that I've ever seen. And, you know, Caesar from the Planet of the Apes is pretty up there. Not even necessarily because of this. Wow, God, like I said, I was going to say not because of the CG, but because of the performance. I really don't know. I don't know. Isn't that the same as Tarkin from Rogue One? Yeah, Psychotic. Tarkin was a kind of a motion capture blend. Yep. Yeah, I think it was straight motion capture, and then they kind of put Peter Cushing's face kind of tacked on, you know. The next question comes from Clayton Bowler. Let me take a little sip of water. Hey, a little bit of a personal question, so I don't blame you for not answering. But I was wondering how you met your wife and your guys' story, how you got married. You don't have to answer if this is too personal of a question, or if you keep it private. P.S. Why was my other question deleted? Deleted? This is actually the first time I've seen anything on Patreon for the month of November. I haven't gone through these questions, so I didn't delete anything. I don't know. I don't have any mods for Patreon either. I'm not too sure why. But Clayton. Alright, so I've known my wife since I was like 16, maybe? We never dated or anything back in the day, but we started dating when I was 20... how old was I? I was 22. I was 22. I had just got out of the boot camp. I got stationed here, and then we started messaging back and forth. Got back in touch, and that's when we started dating, and we've been together for a little over 10 years now. Yeah, that's pretty much the story of it. Yeah, we just kind of knew each other from back in the day. We kept in touch here and there. When I got stationed here, we started hanging out a little bit, and now the rest is history. So yeah, known each other for a while, long time. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else to say. How we got married. I proposed to her. She put up with a deployment, 2010 to 2011, and then in 2012, no, it was 2013. 2013, I proposed. So we were dating for a long time. We were dating for, trying to think. We were dating for like 5 years, maybe a little longer, before we got engaged and then got married in 2014. So yeah, proposed to her in Washington, D.C. on a little road trip that we took in the winter. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. Did you happen to read that article about the course correction? No, AT-AT. I'm assuming that's Star Wars related. No, I didn't read that. Post it to me on Twitter. I'll check it out while I'm laying in bed, and perhaps I'll roll my eyes, or maybe I'll go, oh, okay, makes sense. We'll see. Okay, yeah, shoot it to me on Twitter. I'll check it out. Or, I mean, I guess I could just Google it, but yeah. 6 Foot Piss Radius has the next question. Hey Greedo, thanks for taking the time. I know you like craft beers, but what are some of your favorites right now? Also, what makes them good? Also, I sent you a dick pic on Twitter. Just oh, you goon. My favorites right now. So what's in my fridge right now? I have Cigar City Maduro Brown, which is a brown ale, one of my all-time favorites. I also have a Anderson Valley GNT Goza. The GNT stands for Gin and Tonic, and a Goza is like a sour beer. So yeah, right now in my fridge I have a pretty dark and nutty brown ale and a super light and sour Goza. I'm not picky, there's certain things that I don't like gimmicky stuff. I bought a jalapeno beer one time. I had a jalapeno in the bottom of the bottle. It's like one of those novelty bullshits. It was okay. I didn't really like it. But so what else am I? There's a brewery in Jacksonville called Engine 15. It's kind of like fireman themed brewery, and they have a beer called Nutsack Brown Ale. It's really good. I'm a pretty big fan of brown ales. I like stouts too. I usually prefer darker beers, but I find that as I've gotten older, I kind of gravitate towards IPAs or gozes and stuff like that, or a good lager, you know. But yeah. Cigar City makes some of the best beer. They're out of Tampa. I've always wanted to go down there and go to their brewery, but I appreciate the question. You're making me want one. No, not November. Nutsack Brown Ale. I think I took a picture. Oh, that was a story. That was an Instagram story. So let's see. I might be told to quiet down. Hopefully, I didn't wake up my daughter. Oh, never mind. Never mind. All right. All right. Next question comes from the movie critic dude. Let me pull it up on my other monitor. There we go. Geez, I'm making way. I didn't realize I was making this good time. That's crazy. I didn't mean to just. Does it feel like I'm rushing these questions? I hope not. Okay, I guess there's a pretty good amount left, and then I'll just hang out with you guys for a bit. All right, the next question comes from the movie critic dude. Hey HG, do you think Star Wars Resistance will cross over with both the Clone Wars and Rebels later on in the series progresses? Also, do you think Captain Phasma will get more character development screen time in this series than she did in the sequel trilogy, just like with Dooku and Grievous in the Clone Wars? P.S. Have you seen my first Halloween special review on my YouTube channel? No, I haven't checked that out. I might have seen you post it on Twitter. I know I haven't checked it out. To answer the second part of your question, yeah, 100%. I'm not all caught up with Resistance. I have not watched the most recent episode. Wait, there's only been one episode, right, that I'm missing? I'm trying to think. How many weeks? I'll have to look. But yeah, 100%, man. Captain Phasma will be further fleshed out in Resistance. I know the episodes that I've seen, they've kind of teased Captain Phasma a little bit. My biggest problem with, obviously, some of the Clone Wars villains was that they weren't really fleshed out. They were kind of two-dimensional. Captain Phasma, in my opinion, was kind of like that as well in the sequel trilogy. You know, I see the purpose that she serves, and it's not that I want more Captain Phasma. She's kind of a nice little background character, you know, just kind of a little antagonist in a way, there to get under Finn's skin. I really hope she's not back for episode 9. I kind of did not expect her to be back in episode 8. Oh, one second.
Fly casual.
Tilda can't send YT links through super chat. Disappointed face with tongue.
Raptark, thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support. I didn't know you could. Really? Raptark? I guess that's probably a good thing, Raptark. I wish I could, you know, I don't know if I could turn that off, but if that's an option for me to allow links on super chats, I might do that. I just don't want, you know, people to advertise their shit and then me have to go, you know, check out this person's video, you know, just because they sent a super chat, if that makes sense. You know, I don't want people to think I feel obligated to say, yeah, check that video out because somebody super chatted it to me. Does that make sense? That's just how, like, my brain works when I think of people putting links. Now, if it's something that they just like and they're trying to share it with everybody, that's cool. But, like, I don't know. Does that make sense? I don't know. I just don't want people to think that, like, I was being inauthentic going, yeah, check that video out that, you know, Nutsack Dude 123 just posted in super chat. He made a really funny meme video. But Raptark, I appreciate that. I'm gonna look into that though. I'm gonna look into that. But yeah, movie critic dude. Yeah, I fully expect Captain Phasma to get a lot more screen time, fleshed out, like you said, with Dooku and Grievous. And that was my problem with some of the prequel villains, is that it kind of felt two-dimensional. But the Clone Wars definitely ramped that up, you know, for me. Do I think Resistance will cross over with both the Clone Wars and Rebels later on in the series as the series progresses? I kind of have a feeling that this is going to be the animated show that doesn't have any kind of crossing over characters when it comes to like Rebels and Clone Wars and stuff like that, if that makes sense. I kind of think this is going to be its own thing, just tied directly into the sequel trilogy. You know? If they decided to cross some things over, cool, but if they don't, I'm perfectly happy with this being its own thing, you know, void of any other animated shows that we, you know, characters and whatnot. I certainly don't think we'll see any, I don't know, Ahsoka, right? Certainly don't. That kind of thing with Rebels, you know, how, yeah, spoilers, but, I kind of want this to be its own thing, Resistance to be its own thing, you know, so, but, I appreciate that question, Movie Critic Dude. My throats get scratchy. AT, I'm with you. I feel like, hold on, let me get this up there. There we go. Let's see. I don't know why, but I like Phasma. I think I like secondary characters because I am usually a secondary person. I'm with you. I feel like I had a lot of hype going into TLJ with Phasma because of the novel, and that's true. But TLJ cut out such a great scene with her. Oh yeah, that deleted scene. I forgot about that. That was a good scene. Where the stormtroopers they look like they're going to attack her and she ends up killing them. That's a really good scene. I don't understand why that was cut. I completely forgot that existed. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't really have much of a desire to read the Phasma novel. I'm curious about her story, but I don't know why. Maybe I'm just lazy. I don't want to put that much effort into Phasma story. Oh shit, Paul, I was scrolling up. I complete. If you like Mad Max, you will like it. Really? Interesting. Okay, now I'm a little intrigued. God damn it, AT. Next question comes from Paul Robinson. Hey. So, I was best man at a wedding yesterday, and frankly, my speech was awesome. What stories did your best man roll out for your wedding? Seasonal high fives, Paul. Well, that's cool. Congratulations, man. That's fun. I was a best man in a wedding a month ago or so. Yeah. Oh my god, I was so nervous giving my speech. I wasn't nervous until I got handed the microphone, and then I got a little nervous, and then you know, it was easy. Paul. I'm pissed. I'm gonna be forever pissed off at myself, though. I got up there, the bridesmaid, or what do they call them? Not the bridesmaid. Not the best man, but the maid of honor. The maid of honor got up there. She gave a great speech. She didn't read from anything, straight from the heart. And I was like, oh shit. Because I had it written down. I had, you know, a good page written down, some jokes. It's gonna be fun. And then I saw that she didn't have a piece of paper, and like an idiot, I decided to just go off the cuff and try to remember what I had written. I didn't say half of what I wrote, and I'm forever gonna be pissed off at myself because I had some stories in there. I had some heartfelt things, and I just blanked. Luckily, it was okay. It was like 2 minutes long, short and sweet, said what I wanted to say, but god damn it, I'm going to be pissed off at myself forever for not doing these stories. What stories did my best man roll out for my wedding? I can't really remember. He talked a little bit about, like, knowing each other for a long time, pulling pranks back in the day, playing games forever. I've known this guy since I was 13 or 14. He was the best man at my wedding. I was the best man at his wedding. But yeah, I feel like we had very similar short and sweet speeches, you know. But yeah, nothing really stands out in terms of stories that he rolled out. Really, just I think talked about growing up a little bit, and pulling those pranks. We used to drive around, like, this was in maybe 2002, 2001. I'd drive around with squirt guns, and my buddy drove an Explorer, and I also drove an Explorer, and we drove around and had all the windows down. 4 kids in each car. We'd drive up to the movie theaters and see like kids that went to our high school and like hosed them down with squirt guns. Nowadays that would be completely unacceptable, but back in the day we used to get in like stupid ass car chases with kids and like squirt guns and eggs, and I mean, it was ridiculous. So he talked a little bit about that, just the shenanigans that we did back in the day. But cool question, Paul. I wish I had a better memory. I feel like that's gonna be what I'm gonna say until I die. I wish I had a better memory. Maybe I need to take some of that ginkgo biloba. Isn't that ginkgo biloba supposed to do wonders for your memory? I don't know. I've been working on a lot of edits and stuff, but this company copyright claimed my video, and I don't care if they just monetize it or whatever, but they banned it all in all countries. I don't know what to do. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not versed in all that kind of stuff, Mad Dog, unfortunately. I wish I could help. I've tried to reduce just the probability of getting any kind of claim, you know, best I can. Early in the early days of the channel, it was kind of trial and error. Most of my earliest videos, my most popular videos, are not monetized because of copyright claims, which has always been a bummer to me. But if I would have known what I know now back in the day, I never would have used certain clips. I never would have used certain audio, you know. But I don't know. It's just a bummer. I mean, I get it on a certain level, but there's like just some companies that go around claiming every single thing when they have no right to claim, and then it's like an uphill battle, right? You just have to fight against it, fight against it. I don't know. All right. The next question comes from Psychotic. Short and easy. What is one thing that you could change in each trilogy, original, prequel, and sequel, and why? As usual, thanks for what you do. It does mean a lot. Well, I appreciate that. Golly, man. So if I could change one thing about the prequel trilogy, I think it would be to have Darth Maul be the main antagonist in the entire prequel trilogy. I think, and I don't know how that would work, but I think maybe Maul was a little underutilized and things got a little convoluted as the prequels went on. I understand the Civil War. That's the thing. Like, I understand the Civil War, the Separatists and everything a lot more after watching the Clone Wars. I get it. But I still feel like Darth Maul, kind of, in my opinion, it would have been great to have him be the main adversary, kind of the puppet to Palpatine through the entire prequel trilogy. Don't know how it would play out, but I think it would have been a little more... I think I would have liked it a little more if there was just kind of a singular focused villain, you know, rather than a bunch of dupes not knowing who they're working for. I don't know. And cut out Count Dooku completely. I don't know. The thing is, I really don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't mind having a lot of characters, but to me, things got a little muddied. I still feel that way after all these years, you know. I don't know. I don't know. Just more Maul. Just more Maul. And in the original trilogy, oh man, let me take off my nostalgia goggles for a second. I would probably change a lot of Return of the Jedi. I do. There's so much about that movie that I absolutely love. It would be cliche to say I would change Ewoks, but I probably would change Ewoks to Wookiees like was originally slated. Maybe tied them into it, you know, to tie the Wookiees into it a little more. I think it would have meant a little more, maybe. I don't know. And maybe Han dying in Return of the Jedi, but that's the thing. If he died in Jedi, then kind of completely changes the course of the sequel trilogy, which obviously that would be fine. You know, we wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything else in the original trilogy. Most of the things that I would change in the original trilogy are special edition changes, right? So in the original trilogy, I would get rid of CGI Jabba in the hangar in A New Hope. I would make Han shoot first. I would get rid of all the new CGI singing, dancing people in Jabba's palace. All that shit. I would change Boba Fett's voice back to Jason Wingreen. Yeah. And in the sequel trilogy, I can't really say that I would want to change anything at the moment. I don't want to change anything in any of the movies. Let's just say that. Even prequels or original, I don't want to change them. I like things being the way they are. If I'd be hypocritical to say that I want these changes made, you know, and then bitch about the special editions. But in the sequel trilogy, I'll get back to you after episode 9. I'll get back to you. How about that? But yeah, I appreciate the question. That's one that I really have to think about, because I mean, you know, my brain doesn't go to these places where, you know, what I wish would have happened. I don't really think in those terms after the fact. I'm not, you know, a lot of the channels say how it could have been good or what should have happened, or, you know, aren't there a lot of videos called like if the prequels were good or something like that? My brain doesn't work that way. I just, you know, I don't I'm not a storyteller, and anything that I would come up with or change would be way shittier than anything they did or changed. So anyway, the next question comes from Star Wars Media. If you could make your own TV series, let me scroll up a little bit. Ooh, that fits perfectly. Nice, look at that. Oh, wow. 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 Star Wars Media, if you could make your own TV series, what would it be about? Interesting. Golly, it would probably just end up being a complete Star Trek ripoff. I would want it to be about maybe some like colonists, Earth colonists that are trying to colonize the solar system. I think that would be kind of an interesting show. And, you know, you have kind of escaping Earth, something's catastrophic happening on Earth. We have to move out to the solar system, try to send out ships into interstellar space and try to colonize different stars and whatnot. Not necessarily just for exploration, but for colonization and survival. I think a show like that would be pretty interesting. If there's anything like that on, I have never seen it. But I think, yeah, a show like that kind of follows a group, a big-ass group of Earth survivors being sent out by, whether it be a government or organization, multiple ships to multiple spots and stuff like that, following, you know, each ship and crew, maybe of hundreds or even thousands, giant ships, almost like, you know, lifeboats, you know, Earth lifeboats. I think something like that would be interesting. That's just off the top of my head, but if something like that exists, tell me, because I'd love to see it. AT chat, the way I look at the prequels are that they are janky, hilarious Star Wars films that go extremely goofy to dark as hell, but overall I like the heart GL put into them. Yeah, that's one thing that I really do appreciate with the prequels is the world building. You're right about the tone. I mean, TLJ to me had tonal problems all over the place too. But I do like the world building that Lucas put into the prequels that fed into the Clone Wars. You know, it's some of the best world building in the saga, I think. It just kind of expands, I don't know, your imagination of what Star Wars is. And you know, when I grew up as a kid watching the original trilogy constantly, you know, I imagined myself on Tatooine or in the Mos Eisley Cantina or flying an X-Wing or on Hoth or snow speeders on Hoth and stuff like that. With the prequel trilogy and the Clone Wars and all that kind of prequel era stuff, there's so much, so many places, so many things to mine as a kid to let your imagination run wild. So yeah, that's one of the things that I really do appreciate with the prequel trilogy, you know, kind of expanding majorly on what Star Wars is, you know. I find that when I try to talk lower as to not wake up my daughter, my throat really starts to hurt. I don't know why. Drinking on a live stream. Very professional. All right. The next question comes from Christopher. Greedo, hey, I hope you are well. Here's my question. How have you, over the years, streamlined your video creation process, made it easier on yourself? I ask as a guy who's been making videos for a year. For a year, and have noticed a decline as life, work, relationships take precedent over research, filming, audio and video recording, and editing. You may better know me by my other name, Moth Meta. Oh shit, Moth Meta. Nice to see you, man. Taking a break from that, I felt anxiety levels rising when it came to getting out another video. I'm still here to support you as just myself, Chris or Christopher. Take care. Well, cool to see you, man. Thank you so much for the support. I saw you on Twitter today. I think you liked one of my posts, but it's good to see you here. How have I streamlined my video creation process and made it easier on myself? Oh man. Honestly, so I get, for most of my videos, I wish I could show you my folder, but so I have a Hello Greedo folder, right? And then I have a bunch of video folders that I'm working on, and then effects. My effects folder is where I have my backgrounds, my graphics, my like logos, my overlays, my morning coffee logo, you know what I mean? Like all of my effects or graphics that I use on a daily basis when I work on stuff from the channel, they're all in one central folder location. It's easy, so every time I make a video, I don't have to, you know, make the background again, make a star field again. Everything is just boom. There's an After Effects file that's called background template, boom. There's another one just called window template, boom, and that's for like news videos. So to me, I found that organization really is key to streamlining the process of making videos. If I had to make a background every single time I made a video, it'd drive me crazy. So you know, you create the things that you're going to use most often and have them ready to just plug and play, you know. But really the number one thing that has made this a much easier and I don't know, streamlined process is doing it a lot to where I'm really quick on the draw with filming and writing and editing and everything. Back in the day, it used to take me a lot longer to make a video. Now, depending on the video, I can bust it out in a couple hours, depending on the video, right? I mean, like a Clone Wars video takes me 6 hours to make, maybe a little longer after watching it, writing the script, getting all the screenshots gathered, recording audio, and then just watching, like putting together the video multiple times, rendering it a couple times, and yeah. Does that make sense? But yeah, the biggest thing, Chris, I would say is a central location for all of your effects and graphics that you use, so you just can easily grab them when you need them, and stay up super fucking late and wake up super fucking early. And yeah, you said you had anxiety to get out another video. Get rid of that shit. Get rid of that anxiety. You don't need that. Just have fun with it. That's the biggest thing. Have fun with it. If you're feeling anxious, yeah, it's time to maybe like loosen the grip a little bit, because it should just be a completely fun experience. If you're not having fun and you're feeling anxious, yeah, I would absolutely do what you're doing and take a little break, you know, because you should feel no pressure. I feel zero pressure to like put out 5 videos a week. I just, you know, slow and steady, do some streams, make some videos that I'm proud of. And if people want to support the channel while I, you know, put out the quantity of content that I do, awesome. If they want more content than I can provide and they don't want to support the channel, awesome, that's fine too. But you should never feel anxiety when you're doing this, in my opinion. I think that's certainly counterproductive, and feeling anxious and feeling pressure to just put out stuff might make things a little sloppy and not the best quality, if that makes sense. But yeah, I appreciate the question. That's a really good question. I like answering questions about like the video making process and all that kind of stuff. It's yeah, get back into it whenever you feel ready. Don't feel that anxiety. That's nonsense. Don't feel that anxiety. But I hope everything's going well with you, man. Let's check the chat. Hey Greedo, stayed as long as I could as I need to listen to an audiobook for class. I'll see you later. Wish I could have stayed to the end. You're good, man. We only got 2 more questions left. I appreciate you sticking around for as long as you did. All right, the next question comes from Odin. Hello, Greedo. What is your favorite Star Wars scene? You guys know this. You guys know this. My favorite Star Wars scene is when Anakin is in that like droid factory thing, and he's like jumping from platform to platform and going super fucking fast, and like C-3PO gets his head knocked off, and it's fucking cool. No, my favorite scene in Star Wars is when Luke is on Tatooine, and he walks out on the mound of sand and stares out at the twin suns. That is my all-time favorite Star Wars scene. It's simple, but powerful. The music ramps up. To me, that scene just kind of kickstarts and embodies everything that the franchise is about. It's like about paths, right? Luke is staring out at the twin suns that represent the 2 paths that are ahead of him. Is he going to stay home, tend to the farm with his uncle, safe and secure, and just kind of, you know, a good life, but not what he's dreamt of? Or is he going to go off and fulfill this sense of adventure? That's what the twin suns to me represent, you know, and that is my all-time favorite Star Wars scene. And obviously there's probably different categories. You could favorite lightsaber fight at the end of Return of the Jedi. That's my favorite lightsaber fight. Yeah, so Luke staring out at the twin suns, all-time favorite Star Wars scene. To me, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. And the final question of the night from Patreon comes from Gooner Chiefs Fan 1238. Gooner asks, "Hey Greedo, what's your favorite Star Wars comic?" Man. I'm saying oh man because I'm not very versed in Star Wars comics, to tell you the truth. Like, I'm currently reading Dark Lord of the Sith, the newer Darth Vader comic. I have volume 2 to read. I've read the first 6 issues. It's good. I like it a lot. But back in the day, Gooner, I used to just have like the original Marvel Star Wars comics. I gave them all away a couple years ago when I did like a Wolfson Children's Hospital kind of run. I went and bought a shitload of them too, from t-shirt money that I got. I think that was in like 2013 maybe. maybe 2012, 2013. Anyway, but I really liked those kind of old Marvel comics from, like, wasn't that like the 80s, and there were some in the 90s too, I think. But I don't really have a particular favorite Star Wars comic. Yeah, I can't answer that. I don't have a favorite. I barely remember the ones that I had, to tell you the truth. I wish I could answer that. But I've never really been that big into Star Wars comics, or comics in general. Back in the day, that being said, I actually have a box that my parents gave me. I haven't looked through it yet. Just from the top, it's sitting right next to my computer, and it's got books and comics and etc. It says on the side, and if you open it up, there's some pretty goddamn old Superman comics in there. My dad was actually looking at the value, and he said a couple of them are like worth $50 or something. No, that's definitely not what he said. I'm thinking of something else. He said a couple of them are worth like $4 or $5. But I have to look. But they're old. Like, give me a. I'm gonna look at the first one's date. I'm just curious. Alright, so this comic, Superman, can you guess? Wait. Superman, issue... Wait, it doesn't have an issue number on it? Let's see what the date is. 1975. So I have a shitload of, like, these old 1970s. I probably have older ones in there, too. Superman comics that I used to buy at the comic shop. Titan Comic Shop in Atlanta, Georgia. Definitely doesn't exist anymore, I guarantee that. But I used to go there all the time. So those are really the only comics that I ever got into, Gooner Chiefs. Like older Superman comics. For whatever reason, I've never really been that into any other ones. Like even X-Men. Like, I never really got into the comics. I used to collect like X-Men trading cards and whatnot. But yeah, for whatever reason, Star Wars comics never really. Comics in general, other than Superman, never really came on my radar. You know. I don't know why, but all right, guys, it's time for me to sign off. And have a bowl of Moose Tracks ice cream with some Hershey syrup, you fat fuck. Talking about myself. I need to lose my baby weight. But alright, guys, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Psychotic just finished the script for the next comic page. Nice, man. Nice. Well, speaking of babies, my dude's starting to cry. Later, all have a good stream. I wish you could see, like, when, because I haven't been paying attention to the chat for, like, I feel like the past 10 minutes as I've been rambling about Superman comics. I wish I could hover over, maybe I can, and see when these were posted, you know, because I'm sure AT&T chat like left 10 minutes ago. But yeah. Well, I guess I'm gonna play Red Dead 2 then. Enjoy it. Veg out a little bit for a couple hours. Veg out for a little bit, couple hours, sit on the couch, play a little Red Dead, and eat a bowl of Moose Tracks ice cream. But alright, guys, Psychotic, welcome to the Mod Squad. Thank you for the super chats and support tonight, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Alright, guys, let me run down the list. Raptark, thank you for the super chat and the channel support. Star Wars Ramblings, thank you for the super chat and the channel support. Psychotic, thank you for the super chat and the channel support. Haha LOL, welcome to the fleet. And haha LOL, thank you for the super chat as well. Venom Jew Bear, thank you for the super chat and the channel support. And Psychotic, once again, thank you for the super chat and the channel support. Alright, guys. So tomorrow I got a video going up about maybe 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. We'll see. I'm also going to be trying to bust out the last 2 videos for the Umbara arc tomorrow. I'll at least get the scripts written, get portions of them made. But yeah, so tomorrow, Kylo Ren themed video. Thursday, hopefully the first episode of Umbara. If not Thursday, Friday and Saturday. They're gonna come consecutively back-to-back days. I'll plan on Friday and Saturday. Let's do Friday and Saturday for Umbara. But all right, guys. As always, thanks to the fleet members. Thanks for the Patreon support. All right, I'm gonna go get some fucking ice cream. I'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy the tune. See ya.